Hello, good evening. I'm Roger Johnson. Welcome to Monday's edition of North West Tonight. Thank you for joining us. Back after 70 years, Donald Campbell's record-breaking hydroplane returns to the Samlesbury factory where she was built. So we're talking about Bluebird. It's 7 months, powerboat of course. She finally returned to Coniston back at the start of the year. And Donald Campbell's record-breaking hydroplane, Bluebird K7, has now been on a 5-day road trip, actually. I think we told you last Thursday when she was moved out of the Ruskin Museum in Coniston. She went off down the motorways, visited the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Dorset, also the National Motor Museum in Bewley, which is where Campbell's CN7, the car, is housed. So the both of them were at the same place at the same time over the weekend. But on her way back north today, back home to her permanent base at the Ruskin Museum, Bluebird stopped off for a very special and poignant engagement at Samlesbury Hall. That's where she was built 70 years ago this year, as Phil Cunliffe reports.
Though on that perfect first run, there was no hint of tragedy.
While Coniston will always be Bluebird K7's spiritual home, Samlesbury in Lancashire is where the story begins, where the legend was born. And the chance to see the hydroplane close up today drew the crowds once again.
I just wanted to come and obviously have a look at her and see what she looked like and everything, and pay respects really.
Amazing piece of machinery and such an inspiring sort of achievement to have gone for that, and to see it on its way home is fantastic.
Bluebird was built by Samlesbury Engineering in a hangar in the grounds of historic Samlesbury Hall. It was finished in 1954, then handed over to Donald Campbell. David, a welder, worked on the boat's steel-framed aluminium body.
It had a lot of copper in the metal, made it very difficult to weld with the techniques that we had. You started welding at one end and tack the panel up and then start welding it, and it used to crack behind you.
Did you get to meet Donald Campbell?
We did. Donald Campbell kindly took us over to the halfway house and bought us all a drink, which was very good of him. I'm probably one of the few people who was fortunate enough to work on it. They've probably sadly departed now, a lot of them.
Samlesbury Engineering closed in 1960 and all its buildings demolished. Only photos remain, like those Hazel had brought of her dad Bob, a tinsmith.
Dad helped as part of the team that built Bluebird when it was Samlesbury Aerodrome. And then my husband and I both worked at Samlesbury for British Aerospace, so we've done the full circle now.
That's her father, Bob Knowles, second from the right.
All with their white coats on?
Yes. All with their white coats on.
And what was it like working with Donald Campbell? Did he talk about it?
No, not really. It was just, it was his job. So he never thought anything about it, I don't think. He used to go and watch him on his runs on Coniston.
Just 7 months after leaving Samlesbury, Campbell's Bluebird would break the first of his 7 world water speed records. He would die 13 years later, trying to break an 8th. It helps explain the allure and the romance. But for his family, today was all about the nuts, bolts and rivets. Bluebird, the machine, 70 years on.
This is all about celebrating British engineering and technology of its day.
Yes, she's been down south, but do you know what? I live in Lancashire and I'm very proud to live in Lancashire, and I'm proud that she's a Lancashire boat.
Phil Cunliffe, BBC North West Tonight, Samlesbury.
Apparently she had thousands of people queuing up to see her where she was down south at the weekend. She's back in the Ruskin Museum if you're up in Coniston from tomorrow morning if you want to go and see Bluebird K7.